Life is incredibly fragile. In a single moment, a phone call, a diagnosis, or a sudden loss can shatter our reality. When the floor drops out from beneath us, we desperately reach for an anchor. For millions of Christians, that anchor is found in a single, famous sentence. It has been called the soft pillow for troubled hearts. Romans chapter 8, verse 28. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him. We put it on coffee mugs. We cross-stitch it onto pillows. We whisper it to grieving friends. But what if this verse is not a spiritual band-aid? What if the way modern culture interprets this promise is actually setting us up for deeper heartbreak? To understand the true power of this promise, we have to strip away centuries of cultural conditioning. We must travel back to the first century, to the man who penned it, and the terrified people who first read it. The year is roughly 57 AD. The city is Corinth, and the author is a man well acquainted with suffering. The Apostle Paul was not writing from a place of comfort. He was a man who had been beaten, stoned, shipwrecked, and hunted. He knew the brutal reality of a broken world intimately. He was writing this letter to the church in Rome, the very center of the known world. The believers there were an oppressed minority, a fragile mix of Jews and Gentile. They lived under the constant shadow of the Roman Empire, where claiming Jesus as Lord was an act of treason. Social isolation, economic hardship, and the looming threat of violent persecution were everyday realities. In the verses leading up to this famous promise, Paul doesn't offer a prosperity gospel. He writes about the present sufferings. He says that all of creation is groaning like a woman in childbirth. He acknowledges the decay, the disease, and the deep spiritual exhaustion of waiting for redemption. Paul wasn't writing Romans 8 verse 28 from an ivory tower to tell people to simply look on the bright side. He was writing to traumatized people, standing in the dark, handing them a theological torch. Which brings us to the most dangerous misunderstanding of the verse. How do we define good? In our modern, Western culture, we have unconsciously defined good in material terms. We assume good means the tumor shrinks, the marriage is saved, the bank account fills up, and the pain stops.
I feel it too. Thank you.
So when the tragedy actually happens, our faith shatters. We think God broke His promise.
What am I gonna do?
But Paul's definition of good is entirely different. To understand verse 28, you must read verse 29. God's ultimate purpose is that we would be conformed to the image of His Son. The good that God is working toward is not your immediate comfort. It is your ultimate sanctification. He is not a genie granting wishes. He is a master sculptor. And shaping hard stone into a masterpiece requires the sharp chisel of adversity. The greatest good that can happen to a human soul is to become like Jesus Christ. That means God will use heartbreak to teach you empathy. He will use failure to teach you humility. He will use deep grief to detach your heart from the fleeting things of this world. The promise is not that the pain will feel good. The promise is that the pain will not be wasted. Let's look at the phrase, work together. The Greek word is synergai, where we get the word synergy. Think of baking a cake or mixing medicine. Raw ingredients like raw eggs or bitter herbs are repulsive on their own. But when combined under the heat of an oven or the hand of a master pharmacist, they create something life-saving. This brings us to the most staggering part of the verse, all things. What does all include? Theologians argue this includes everything: your triumphs, your catastrophic mistakes. It even includes the malicious sins that other people commit against you. God does not cause evil. He does not author sin. But his sovereignty is so absolute, his power so unmatched, that he can take the darkest, most chaotic threads of human evil and weave them into his divine purpose. Consider the story of Joseph in the book of Genesis, sold into slavery by his own brothers, falsely accused, imprisoned. Decades later, staring at the brothers who ruined his life, he declares, "You meant evil against me, but God meant it for good, to bring it about that many people should be kept alive." God didn't endorse the brothers' betrayal, but he hijacked their evil intention to save a nation. This is the active, theocentric view of Romans 8 verse 28. The universe isn't just naturally working things out via karma. God is actively, forcefully, relentlessly working all things together. He is the master weaver. From our earthly perspective, we only see the back of the tapestry. It looks like a tangled, senseless mess of pain. But on the other side, in eternity, God is weaving a masterpiece. This changes everything about how we handle suffering. It means your trauma is not the end of your story. Your grief is not a pointless cosmic accident. It is the agonizing heat of the crucible, burning away the impurities, making you eternal. But before we claim this ultimate comfort, we must look at the fine print. Romans 8 verse 28 is not a universal blanket statement for humanity. It is highly conditional. It does not apply to everyone. It is a covenant promise reserved specifically for two overlapping groups of people. First, those who love God. This isn't about perfect religious performance. It's about a heart posture of deep affection and surrender to the Creator. Second, those who are called according to His purpose. It's for those who have traded their own tiny, self-centered purpose for God's massive, eternal kingdom purpose. If your life's purpose is simply to be rich, comfortable, and happy on earth, this verse will fail you. Because God will not work all things together to serve your kingdom. He works all things together to serve His. So, where does this leave you today? If you are walking through the darkest valley of your life right now, do not let go of this promise, but let go of your worldly expectations of what good looks like. Trust the author who wrote it, a man who found joy in a prison cell. Trust the master sculptor, who will not strike you with the chisel one more time than is absolutely necessary. Trust the master weaver, who sees the glorious front of the tapestry while you stare at the messy back. God is sovereign. Your pain has a purpose, and He is making you into a masterpiece.